All right, everybody, it's Axe with CakeTrades, and I'm just going to do a quick Monday afternoon PCRIs update. PCRIs are the indicators that we use for tracking market tops and bottoms, and it's part of our pro subscriptions. But today I want to make this video for everyone because I think we're at an inflection point that could have an impact the same way December 31st when I said, we're about to sell, the same way that had an impact. So as a public service, I sort of want to talk about this. You can see here, this indicator right here measures hedging sentiment, right? Or hedging behavior, I'm sorry. And you can see basically we're sitting up here where we've sat in prior down moves, which means people are unwilling to let go of their hedges. They didn't do it until March and we started the rally. And, basically in November, I guess October through November when we rallied. But in general, we've been sitting up here with people just overly hedged, right? Happy to sit out of the market and not wanting to participate on the long side. At the same time, though, these other indicators here, which measure things from like sentiment, momentum, fear, things like that, they're acting as if we're in a rally phase, right? These are turning down, and this is what happens when the market rallies. You can see it happened during this phase here. It happened, around here in August as we set up the top end of September. So they're acting like, well, we're spending a lot of energy in the middle of what should be a rally phase, but we're not rallying, right? We're just sitting here in between 4,100 and sort of 4,190, 4,200. And that could mean, if we're hedged and we're burning energy, that to me means we have a lot of hedges that want to unwind and they need lower prices to do it. At the same time, we're running out of bullish energy and bullish momentum that says we could be setting up another top. So a lot of people are seeing this and saying, hey, maybe we're halfway through the move like March and we're going to get up a little bit higher. And I think we could. 4,300 has been a target. 4,280 to 4,300 has been a target that I wanted to hit. But at the same time, I feel like based on the price movement and a little bit of fractal analysis, especially if you look at this December into the end of December here, very similar setup. These spikes here were not as significant, but again, the levels are about the same. We're coming down here to set this up at a very similar level. The only difference here is we're hedged more than we were before, right? And that means people may be more prepared for the move, but that doesn't always matter. But otherwise, it's basically the same. And I think, especially if you look at this pattern here, you compare this 4090 to this 4700, and you say, what if this whole move is just setting up a top here? Everybody thinks we're consolidating to break out, and we could be, but I just don't see it yet. But instead, we're just setting up a top, and that top takes us lower. And we could be getting, this is like a double zigzag here. We could be getting a whole new move lower. And this time, if it happened, I think, especially because people are hedged and willing to participate in the downside because they're, they know about the profit that can come from that. I think this move could exacerbate and make this whole move here in January into March, and then again in April into May. It could make that move look very slow. So we could get into some waterfall selling here. So I would just, as a bit of caution, I would say be careful. The market's burning a lot of energy, getting nowhere. And while we could break out, I think 4,300 would top us. I think it's much more likely, especially with this massive June OPEX, that we could be setting up another top. So just be careful out there. That's it. Thanks.